Tracey from My 600-Pound Life, Season 5, Episode 12 that premiered in 2017. Tracey is 45 years old and she has lymphedema masses all over her legs, and actually most of her weight is in her legs themselves. She said that her childhood was pretty rough. She had an alcoholic father that abused her and her mother. And when she was young, from the ages of 3 to 6, there was a male babysitter that did SA her. And he threatened and he said that if you tell anybody, I'm going to unalive your younger sibling, so she kept quiet. And this led her to eat to cope basically with everything that was going on with her. By the age of 6, she was 70 pounds. By the age of 11, she was over 170 pounds. She started spending more time with her grandparents, and her grandmother really liked to treat her with some sweets, which contributed to her weight gain. Around 13, she was 200 pounds. 15, she was 250. And by 18, she was 270 pounds. She got pregnant for the first time at the age of 20. Her grandparents kicked her out, and she gained over 70 pounds with the pregnancy. At 23 years old, she did become pregnant again, but unfortunately, just a few weeks before she was supposed to deliver, there was no heartbeat and the baby did pass away. They performed a C-section, and she said that she also almost passed away during this procedure. And with her next 2 pregnancies, she was bedbound, and she almost passed away during both of them as well. She said that she was really active with her kids, really present until she developed lymphedema, and then it just became so much more harder to move around and to be present for her kids. At 38 years old, she developed a cellulitis infection. She was over 500 pounds at this time. She was admitted to a nursing home, and she basically just sat around and ate because now she was completely bedbound. Her original husband, he lost his job, became very violent, so she separated and divorced from him, but she would go on to meet her current husband, Anthony, who is her primary caretaker right now. Her entire extended family, all of her kids, grandkids, everybody shows up. She's trying to eat with them in the living room, but unfortunately she becomes very dizzy, very ill, and so she has to go into the bedroom where she then eats by herself. In month 1, it is a more than 20-hour drive down to Houston, Texas to see Dr. Now. She is 605 pounds. Dr. Now gives her a new eating plan, a new grocery shopping plan, and he says that most of the weight is in your legs, and your legs themselves, the lymphedema, is probably 300 to 400 pounds alone. He says, go home, lose 50 pounds in a month, and then we'll talk. About 2 weeks after they arrive home, her cellulitis infection is so severe that she is put on meds. She is very nauseated from them. She was supposed to have a follow-up appointment with Dr. Now, but she misses it, so they do like a Zoom call, and on the call, he's like, what are you eating? And she's letting him know, and he's like, you're not getting better because you're not nourishing your body. You really need to stick to your protein. You need to hit those goals, and then that will help your body heal itself. Month 3, it's kind of more the same thing. Cellulitis isn't healing. Dr. Now says stick to your protein, and he says, I think you should probably consider moving to Houston so that you can be closer and we can monitor your situation more closely, and also stop the cheating because she admits she's cheating on her diet. In month 4, they make the decision that they are going to move down to Houston, Texas. So they pack up the house, they get on the road. She says goodbye to her mom and her grandma. They move into this like extended stay hotel place, and they're going to be there for at least the next 8 months. But the bed is only a queen size, it looks like. And unfortunately, her husband doesn't really fit in the bed. And so he jokes around and says he's going to sleep in the car in the air mattress. She comes back to see Dr. Now. She is 517 pounds and 88-pound weight loss in the last 3 months. And she's honest about it because she didn't quite hit her goal. And Dr. Now says, what are you eating? I'm eating the carbs. He's like, no more with the carbs. He says, I want you to start losing at least 30 pounds per month. And when you get under 450 pounds, we can do your first removal surgery to remove some of those lymphedema masses. Month 5, she is still eating the fast food. She's actually gained a few pounds. She's actually gained 3 pounds, which means her weight loss is 85 pounds lost total. She's still eating the fast food. She's still eating the carbs. Dr. Now says if you don't get this under control, you will lose your life. Your cellulitis has gotten so out of control, you need to start eating right. Lose 30 pounds. And she says, well, it's my husband. He's picking up all the wrong food. And so Dr. Now's like, stop picking up that food. He sends a registered dietitian to go talk with them. They go over everything. And then the registered dietitian kind of confronts Anthony and says, like, why are you bringing this stuff in the house? Why are you making this food for her? And he doesn't like that. Things are really tense between the two of them. He's like, I have things I have to do. I can't take you to your appointments. You've got to figure it out. And so she goes and sees a lymphedema specialist. He tells her, like, I need you to, when you're eating, your legs need to be straight out. Also eat less than 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt per day. I need you to drink a ton of water. And then they like measure her legs so they can kind of like measure her progress. In month 9, she says that she has lost 20 pounds and is able to get around and move better. Month 10, they show a thing that says that the last visit she was 471 pounds, a total weight loss of 134 pounds. Now she is 439 pounds, 167 pound loss in total. Her lymphedema is finally under control. The infections are cleared up. The lymphedema specialist is really going well, and she has lost a lot of fluid from her legs. And Dr. Now says since most of it is the lymphedema and the fluid, you don't even need weight loss surgery. So keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to start removing those masses. It is surgery day. They remove one of her masses. She probably will need anywhere from 4 to 6 surgeries on her leg alone. Mass itself is 10 pounds in addition to 5 to 7 pounds of fluid that was lost. Month 11, she is 405 pounds, a total weight loss of 201 pounds. And she says that her legs, her wounds are finally healing from her surgery. Month 12, she's 388 pounds, a weight loss of 218 pounds. And she says that she can finally fit in a normal car. She doesn't have to ride like in a special vehicle or anything, or in like the back of a vehicle. She can ride in the front seat. Things between her and her husband are going much better, and her path looks great. So what has she been up to since she was on the show? We left off, she was down to 388 pounds, which was a total weight loss of 218 pounds. There's not a lot on her social media, like almost nothing. And she abandoned it quite a while ago. So I had to go off of some articles that had written about her, because apparently she used to do Facebook Lives. I don't know if she still does them, maybe just for her friends or whatever, but this is the information I was able to find out. Remember, her episode came out in 2017, which means it was filmed 2015, 2016-ish. And this says that in 2020, she did a Q&A with her friends on Facebook and says that her pain is getting better and she still lives with her lymphedema. Speaking of the pain, she talks about it here and says that it was the worst pain I ever had in my life. I've had other surgeries, but none of them hurt as bad as this one. It was horrible. When she says other surgeries, I'm not sure if that means she had other masses removed and those weren't as bad, or she just means other general surgeries for other things. She says she didn't fully enjoy her experience on the show. She also feels that more could have been done to support the show's cast members, which is something that a lot of them say. However, she does say that without the assistance of Dr. Now, she might still be at a very high weight, and that the good comes with the bad, basically. Some of her gripes centered around feeling that she deserved more money for being on reality TV appearances. Then again, the medical advice and treatment that she received is worth a lot of money. In the US, the average cost of bariatric surgery and follow-up appointments can be as high as $33,000. So while she didn't actually get a gastric bypass or gastric sleeve surgery, she still had the support of Dr. Now, the staff, and he did do at least one mass removal on her legs. This picture here was posted in 2016, and this was probably around the time that the show was filmed, maybe towards the end of her journey on the show. Did make a few posts and respond to a couple of people's comments. Here's what she said here. Basically, they did move back to Ohio, and that she's hoping to have more of the masses removed. I'm not sure when this photo is from, but there's also this photo that I found, and this one here too. And some of her more recent posts, like I said, she kind of dropped off, but she does post a lot of recipes, which they all look good, but these are definitely not on his plan. I'm not sure if she had a business where she was selling these, or if it was some big garage sale, because she did mention at one point she was having this massive garage sale and was trying to sell a bunch of stuff online. But this here is more of this is a special, I have an Etsy shop kind of thing. So there's a ton of photos of this stuff. Here's what she mentions: the yard sale, these keychains you can buy. And this photo's from 2021, but her most recent things, again, have just been all of these photos of you can buy these keychains, you can buy these self-protecting maces and stuff like that. That stuff was from 2024. That was kind of the last of her posts, but I believe this was the last photo that she shared. No idea when this was actually taken, but it was posted in 2021. But it does seem that they are still together. Everything's going great. And I just hope that she's able to get her lymphedema under control, get more masses removed. And I just wish her and Anthony all the best.